You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Nerd Room, where we talk all things Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. This is episode number 131, where we're discussing the best of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm one of your hosts, Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
The boys are back. It has been too long, my dudes, since we sat at this table in this room to talk nerd. I am stoked about this podcast. We got a lot of fun things we're going to discuss, particularly around the MCU, because it's been a very, very quiet week in Nerd. We've turned to celebrate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, if you remember a few episodes ago, maybe 10 or 20 episodes ago, Sunjay and I broke down our top 10 moments from the MCU. This episode, we're going to break down and almost do an Oscars of the MCU. So we're going to be talking everything from our favorite villain, our favorite costume, our favorite origin film, and at the end, we're going to crown a best film. And we're going to be looking to you guys as well. We're going to put up some Twitter polls later this week to see how you guys feel about the best of the MCU. But gentlemen, before we get into any of that, how you guys been? What's going on? Troy, I haven't seen you in like a month.
It's been a long time, man. It feels good to be back in the Nerd Room, man. This is awesome. It's good to see everybody. It's like the Avengers, like annual issue going on here. It's like giant-sized X-Men right now.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since all three of us recorded. We had that contract dispute. Me and Troy had that feud. We finally patched things up.
Yeah, it got real ugly on Twitter there for a while.
Oh, you should have seen it. It was insane.
Those tweets.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was lobbing bombs at Troy earlier this week, too.
just all ganging up on poor Troy.
Well, like we always like to do at the top of the podcast. We've been away from each other for a little while. Sunjay kind of ran a few things down last week, but having Troy back in the room is a pure delight. But I gotta know, guys, what's going on? What's happening in your week in Nerd?
All right, so yeah, for me, it's been a good week. I picked up Death of Superman on 4K. Fantastic film. This is probably one of the best DC animated films out there. Check that out. Picked up the Steelbook of Infinity War. What a beautiful Steelbook. This one is probably one of, if not my favorite MCU Steelbooks. And that's saying something because the MCU has been crushing the Steelbook game. And I found some really sweet Suicide Squad action figures, which Troy really likes, and I should have bought one for you because the Dollarama is stocked with Rick Flag action figures. So if you ever want one,
Is it actually Dollarama?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So Dollarama had Rick Flag and El Diablo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, $4. What a deal!
Because those things used to retail about like $35, $29.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dollarama.
I was
There
just
you
in
go.
there, and
That's
I was
the
like,
quality.
hey, wait a second, that's Suicide Squad. It's like, hell yeah, I'm going to take it. Like, I didn't really collect the Suicide Squad figures when the film came out.
Yeah.
I was like, I got all the BVS ones. I'll save my money for Wonder Woman. But yeah, $4, I couldn't pass on that.
No, God, no.
Do you have Deadshot?
No, I really want him. Harley Quinn, Joker. All the good Suicide Squad members.
They're still $30-$40 at Walmart.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, shout out to Dollarama.
Yeah, maybe I
Jeez.
should buy them at Dollarama, return them at Walmart. I don't know if you can do that, but
You can.
Yeah.
Just swap out the figure and put something else in. We see them all the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Don't actually do that. We highly recommend against that.
Why are you winking at me, Tim?
It's just like I never buy digital codes off you, right?
Yeah, these are not for resale.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Death of Superman because when I bought that off you,
Yeah.
the digital code, I
Yeah.
didn't really. But I thought it was the documentary Death of Superman Lives or whatever.
Oh,
What happened
the
by
John
John
Schnapp?
Schnapp?
Yeah, I
The
thought
late
that's
great.
what it was. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
fine. I'll watch the cartoon, the animated version of the Death
Yeah.
of Superman. So I was a little bit. I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to watch John Schnapp because I heard you guys kind of do your discussion about the death of John Schnapp and all that. And I wasn't really ever connected. I didn't watch a lot of his stuff. But after hearing you guys talk about him, I went back and watched a ton of
Awesome.
John Stepp stuff
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sadly
Oh,
missed.
absolutely, man.
He's
it's
a great
someone that
man.
when he was alive, like I said, I didn't really ever watch or connect with him that much. But it's seeing and hearing how impassioned you guys were with him and how much you loved his commentary on this world that we're so immersed in. It made me want to go and watch it. So I did. So
Nice.
I'm happy that you guys were able to kind of pass that through the podcast to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome news, man.
Yeah. So Troy, man, haven't seen you in a few weeks. What's going on?
man,
You've seemingly found every single Marvel Legends 10th anniversary in the city.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just rolled that dice and it's been dope, dude. Like I've gotten, the Iron Man. I think you were here when I got the Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I picked up just a bunch of stuff. I found Tarkin yesterday. I found a Goku at a comic shop, which is so cool. It's this like Dragon Ball Super Series line.
Nice.
It's awesome. The Fantastic Four variant covers by Alex Ross.
Yes.
Oh, those look
Those
amazing.
are like beautiful, man. I'm really liking those. I've been going back on my X-Men though. I'm like really into X-Men right now. X-Men Blue. Picked up Volume 4 the other day. That's been great. There's been some crossovers with Venom. So I'm loving that series. And my Hot Toys, they're all set up, man. My Luke Skywalker.
Luke came in?
Yeah, I got a Luke Skywalker. Yeah, he's there. He's set up. It's good to go.
Oh, it's funny because I
yeah.
was at your house a couple days or a week ago picking
Yeah.
up the equipment. And I walk in and I said to your wife, I was like, I'm going to go downstairs to check it out. And she's like, no, he wants to be here. So I'm gonna check him out. So I was like, that's fair.
That's hilarious. Yeah, there's a lot changed down there, man. I got my whole Spider-Man posters put up right now.
Ooh.
It's looking crazy down there. And yeah, my Anakin's finally up, so I'm loving that. And man, there's just been so many goodies. The whole X-Men wave's out there right now, and I got all that going on, man. So it's just been
Nice.
great. And my X-Men anime has been picked up. So I'm just loving nerdom all around right now. I'm loving that Spider-Man run too right now that's been going on with your boy Nick Spencer.
Yeah, Nick
running
Spencer,
it.
he
Yeah.
came off the Cap run.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And obviously, yeah, Sarah Pacelli and Dan Slott doing the Fantastic Four run.
Yeah, what
which
do you
we'll
think
talk
of
about
it?
later.
The opening shot in this new version or this new volume of Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, man. I'm coming off of that Hickman run.
Yeah.
'Cause I really like that run. And it feels good, man. Like I've mentioned before, I've never been the biggest Fantastic Four person, but coming off of Jonathan Hickman's run and just having their presence back feels right. In the I was gonna say the MCU, but in the 616 world,
Yeah.
even though they're
It's
not
coming.
quite back yet, but it's really cool to see like the hope that Johnny Storm carries with him. Really hoping that his family's out there, and then Ben Grimm's kind of like over it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's cool. My only disappointment in the issue, I'm not going into spoilers, but the last like quarter with the Doctor Doom run, the art was really hard for me to get through.
Yeah, there's like a backup story, like a backdoor pilot type thing.
Yeah, so I wasn't really messing with that, but all in all, I felt it. What about you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It probably wasn't exactly what I wanted at the gate. It was a lot of catch up. It was a lot of setting the foundation.
Yeah.
And it didn't really jump into the run the way I thought it was going to. I thought they were going to go like whole hog. Here's the Fantastic Four in the first couple panels. It's not quite that.
Right.
But I did enjoy what Dan Slott did. The art from Sarah Pacelli is great. I'm really enjoying that. So it's something I'm definitely sticking with. I'll give it at least 5 issues here and see if I can get a run, or maybe 6 of full trades worth
Yeah.
of issues, and see how I'm feeling after that. But I'm pretty excited. Like, it's definitely added back Fantastic Four to my pull list for now.
Nice.
Like I went from a space where I had almost nothing in my Marvel pull list. We kind of talked or touched on this last week, and now I have this huge pull list again.
Oh, it's crazy
So
right now.
Marvel is doing a lot of good things at the moment. Like the Steve Rogers run is great, or
Yeah.
the Captain America run is great.
Avengers is getting on me now. I'm really starting to like Avengers.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that. All the Infinity stuff. They just
Heard it's
jumped
good.
into Infinity War is really good. They came off of the Infinity Countdown and all that. So I'm really enjoying that kind of isolated event that they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is great because it's not really pulling into many of the big covers. It's kind of just a streamlined event, which is really good. Because
Yeah.
it's not asking you or requiring you to do a lot of extra buying to get the full breadth of the story. It's just kind of more or less, let's do this, let's get this Infinity stuff, really Guardians focused. So really enjoying that. Like, it's like the comic books is, for me, is just,
Killer
I'm
right now.
loving it right now. And I caught up on a ton of trades, so it's been absolutely fantastic. And for me, for collecting, like, I've had a pretty substantial week, but most of it has been friends buying things for me. You know, I lobbed a bit of a grenade over Twitter at Troy the other day saying that he had bought all of the Marvel 10th Anniversary Legends. I can only find this, overpriced Thor 2 3-pack.
Ooh.
And then he, like, literally on that same feed in Twitter there, he posts back, I got it for you. He's got me the Red Skull here, the single pack for the 10th anniversary from the first Avenger. Loving that. Like, it's absolutely incredible. The sculpt is beautiful. I got my hands on that Afra scent from Rob Cass. He sent that to me from San Diego Comic Con 2018. So he shipped that over at Mint. Thank you, Rob, for that. Like, I'm never going to get my hands on this any other way at retail. It's a beautiful set. It's from the comic book, so absolutely love that. It's something that, you know, I expressed this to him when we recorded an episode of TSW Comics, that I like having a story to each one of my pieces in here. He's got me 2 huge things: the Luke, the vintage pack, 6-inch from Celebration, and then now this After set. So just loving life there. And then Sunjay hooked us up with the Infinity War Steelbook.
Of course,
Sunjay. Beautiful.
It's coming full circle. You got me hooked on Steelbooks, and I'm slowly reeling you back in.
I'm coming back in. I got my last 2 big ones. I got Solo. I've already paid for it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one's actually not coming in, Tim.
Yeah,
so I'm just keeping your money and
just giving the money into some of the digital code, right?
Yeah.
From my own Steelbook.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, I've been meaning to ask you: have you picked up the Thrawn Alliance or Audible?
No, I haven't got it yet. It's on the list. No.
Okay.
My birthday's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So I've been told don't buy anything.
Okay.
So I'm sure I'm not gonna get that, but I'm just holding off on everything until I can get through that. Because sometimes I buy things and my wife will like roll her eyes and be like, "What did you buy?" And I'll be like, "Just this, don't worry." And she'll be like, "What do you mean this?" Whoops.
This one's for Troy, I swear.
Yeah. I didn't buy this for myself or sign the inside of it.
Yeah.
No, so it's been an absolutely incredible week. And actually, I've got one thing here. You know, I said after Troy, you know, he picked me up this Red Skull. I said, I got a little something for you. So when I was away on vacation, I found something. And I was like, you know, I'm going to start Troy down this very dangerous path. There's a character that I know he loves. It was an exclusive that I was able to get my hands on.
Oh, shoot.
So I've got it right here.
Oh, man.
Wait.
Should I think I'm on the Oprah Winfrey show right now.
Picture of his
everyone
face?
gets...
Oh, no way. What? My dude.
Bane.
What? Man. That's wicked. Cat Bane in the house. The baddest bounty hunter out there. That's crazy. And I was just watching this the other day, the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
When Obi-Wan goes undercover to fight Bane. Man.
So that's Troy. That's your
That's
first
crazy.
Funko Pop. Except
Yeah.
for the Spider-Man I gave you, right?
Yeah, that's right. You're really trying to get me in there, eh? That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
man.
it's a summer convention exclusive. It's not the SDCC exclusive. It's the same pop.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't have the SDCC card or sticker on it.
As long as he's blue and he has that hat,
Yeah.
it's cool by me. That's
Where does the Venom
dope.
go in?
Yeah, right.
I'm confused. Isn't this Bane? Like, what's going on? Does he break Luke's back?
A little bit.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I love it. You gotta love reveals on a podcast. But
man.
Troy will throw a picture up of
For
that.
sure. Oh, you know it, guys.
I'm throwing
you
a
know
picture up of Troy. Like, look how happy he is in this picture. But he looks too good. I don't know if I should throw this up.
And speaking about podcast and mystery reveals, we got something real special to do here. Now our dude, Corey, from Tumbling Saber Podcast, Chop Rules with a Z.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He sent us over a box here. Now this is the Chop Mystery Box, as we've been referring to it for the last week or so. We had it last week, but it says specifically on here it's got to be open with the whole crew in the room.
Nice.
So this thing, we're going to throw a couple pictures up online about this. So this thing is huge. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And I have no clue what's in here. It's nicely decaled with the nerd room here.
I like that, actually.
Yeah,
It looks
and-
really, like, mint.
Yeah, he's really dressed this up, the outside of this. So
Chop shop.
Yeah.
I don't know what the postman was thinking when he sent this. It's like, what is going on? So I swear they've been here every other day with a package for me. So we're just going to crack this open. This is going to be not particularly well suited.
What if
for...
Corey pops out of it?
That'd be awesome.
He'd
Dude,
be like,
sorry you've been in here for a week.
Yeah. He's like, you were supposed to open me last week, guys.
Yeah, he's been tweeting me the whole time from inside the box.
SOS, SOS.
Inside the It's a good battery.
Yeah.
Holy jeez. Okay. Chop, what are you doing to us? This is quite the haul here. So, first thing's out.
Oh,
What?
Yes.
Smallville, yo.
Smallville. Oh my God, white chicks. Just love it.
We've got a whole contingent of Blu-rays here, which are
Oh,
clearly
my
for our
goodness.
dude, Sunjay.
Well, you know, that is not true. Assassination of Jesse James.
I've never seen Sunjay so happy in my whole life.
It's like
Oh.
Christmas in here right now.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. This is like, I mean, this is just unbelievable. Corey, my man, I am absolutely smitten. Smitten.
All right, the next thing we got in here, I'm going to toss this across the table because I know my dude Troy is going to love this.
Oh.
Oh, X-Men, here we go. Look at that. That's fresh.
Look at that nice
man.
dope hat.
Chops, what's going on here, man?
Like, that
Jeez.
is Jim Lee, like the cover from the 90s.
Ooh.
Look at that.
That baby blue with the yellow. That's like UCLA colors, man.
Yeah, I don't think Troy likes it, so I'll just
Wow.
take it. You know, it's not a problem.
This is a crazy box.
This is
Out of
crazy.
the gates, we've got a Guardians of the Galaxy
No
Volume 2
way.
Legends set 2-pack, 3 3/4, Yondu, and my man Star-Lord.
Whoa,
No.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Look at that. Look at this guy. And it keeps coming. We got a Marvel's Sandman 3 3/4 inch.
What?
This is crazy.
What a haul. This
My
is
goodness.
absolutely insane, Chop.
It's like Christmas
Yeah.
in August.
We've got another Marvel Sandman, the variant.
Oh, because one's in sand mode and the other
yes.
one's okay.
Look at this guy.
Crazy.
Absolutely insane.
The nerd room table is full right now.
Yeah.
Like, did a Toys R Us truck like fall off like one of
Oh,
their
no
boxes?
way.
And he's like, "Here, you guys
We've got a
go."
few more DVDs here.
Oh no!
What's that one?
Oh my goodness, Pootie Tang!
Is that porn?
No,
Oh.
Sounds like one though, doesn't it?
Chris Rock, Wanda Sykes. You guys have never seen Pootie Tang?
I've heard about it.
I'm sure you have.
Jeez. We're going on a bit of a detour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Next out of the gate, we've got a Luke Skywalker,
Whoa.
3 3/4 inch from The Last Jedi.
I've never seen that one out there before. That's
No,
a
this
nice
is
looking
from
Luke.
The recent. This is in his after he gets changed. I can't remember what do you want, island gear,
Yeah.
maybe something like that. Beautiful, the brown gear and all that he wears for most of the film.
Oh yeah, like the hermit kind of look,
yeah,
right?
that's dope. I love
Nice,
that. I don't
man.
have that action figure actually.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's
Freaky
cool.
Friday. I
Oh, I
love
like
this
Freaky
movie.
Friday.
So
Yeah.
good. Lindsay Lohan.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking about 13 again. Sorry,
Oh
13
my
again?
goodness.
something different.
Or we got some. Oh, sweet. We got some comic books here. Star Wars
Oh.
Adventures. Oh, dope. The kids are gonna love these. So we got the IWG Star Wars Adventures issues 1 through 3 from The
Nice.
Force Awakens, I believe.
Is that Obi-Wan I see there too?
That is Obi-Wan. This is beautiful. Actually, the kids are really gonna love these. I bought a few of these for my daughter.
Yeah.
And we can pass these around. Actually,
Sick.
I should get the kids to sign the
Yeah.
backs of these.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's awesome. Chop, man.
Wow,
Chop. And it's
man.
still coming, guys. It's still coming. We got an issue of Han Solo.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's
that's
from
number
the
1,
5-issue
right?
miniseries.
That's
number
right.
1.
That's right. I love that cover.
We got a DC Rebirth of Batman.
Oh, Tom
Whoa.
King, baby.
Tom King.
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah.
What are you
Gotham
doing
Run.
to us, Chop?
This is crazy,
Chops.
man. Keeping
Still
us all
coming,
those
guys. Like, I'm
goodies.
still looking at my hat on the box.
No wonder it's huge.
We got another Legends figure
Doctor
set, 3
Strange.
3/4 inch, Doctor Strange, and Astroplane Doctor Strange. Holy jeez!
What is going on here?
This is incredible. It doesn't stop there, boys. We've got
This is like one of those like infomercials where it's like, "Don't worry, there's more."
There's
like,
more.
call now and you get a second free
Yeah,
This
man.
is
set.
the art.
Oh,
Whoa,
Clayface.
Clayface.
Wow.
My man.
Chops, man. Take it easy.
Come on.
Chops.
Wow. This really is a giant size X-Men issue.
Like
telling
this
you.
is insane.
Yeah.
This is the biggest box that we've ever gotten in the nerd room. Oh, we got some nice promo cards. Venom. There you go.
Wow.
Oh.
Got tongue. That goes with Pootie Tang. What else we got in here? We got an AVX coaster. Come on.
No way.
Wow.
You know what's awesome about this? I'm keeping this because this is,
what's awesome.
this is literally the first comic run I ever went out and actively seeked.
That's
Nice.
amazing. There you
This is
go.
what
That's
got me into
something.
comics. This was like, and I was so confused because the continuity's all over the place. 'Cause
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
to read like 10 years worth of Bendis to get this.
Yeah, you're like, what's going on?
That's dope.
And last but not least in here, guys. Now this is something that is actually pretty special. So this is Star Wars from a certain point of view. This is a book. If you guys listen to Tumbling Saber, this is a book that Kyle, backwards here, has wanted to pass around to various members of the Star Wars Commonwealth, and everyone's going to sign it as they read through it.
Awesome.
So it's our job here, because I think we're going to have to talk to Chopper about this, but I know Kyle's been giving him shit for quite some time about not passing this
Yeah.
on. So it's our duty, boys, to take this book from
Yep.
a certain point of view. We're going to read through it. We're going to sign it individually. So at some point in here, you'll find everyone else's signatures. You got Kyle's in here and Corey's as well.
Under 10 months, right?
Yeah,
I
under
believe
10
that's
months,
the joke.
yes.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to sign it, and then we're going to send it off to another one of our fellow Commonwealthers.
Wow,
We'll pass
our
this book
dudes.
around, and hopefully by the time it gets back to Kyle at some point, hopefully within the next 3 or 4 years, is that he's got a book that's fully signed, and it's perfect because it's from a certain point of view.
That's so cool.
Oh, I
So
see.
That wraps it up, and I have to say, this is absolutely incredible. The table is packed.
Yeah.
I'm going to take an image of this, a photo of this, and put it up on Twitter so everyone can see what we unraveled here out of this amazing Chop mystery box. So,
Chop.
first thing, boys, we got to give a huge shout out to our man, Corey, over at Tumbling Saber. Make sure to go check out what those guys are doing. And thank you, man. Like, this is unexpected, unbelievable, unnecessary, but greatly appreciated.
Corey, I feel like
like
we just got bought out by Corey.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Wait, did he just buy the
Corey, if you ever need a kidney, just let us know. We got 3 options for you right here.
Yes, there's very different blood types, and we're good to go.
Yeah, one of us would work, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, this is amazing, man. Thank you so much. Like I said, absolutely unnecessary, but immensely appreciable.
Yeah,
This
thanks,
was a ton
man.
of fun.
Man.
Huge. This is crazy.
I got a lot of movies to catch up on.
Yeah.
White Chicks? Man.
Yeah, that's so PC for nowadays, right? All right, well, I don't know how we're going to recover from that sort of excitement.
Oh my goodness. It's like getting hit with a sledgehammer of love.
Yeah, that was literally Christmas in the Nerd Room.
Oh, it's huge.
Right?
It's huge.
Yeah.
There's so much giving here on this podcast. We've got Red Skulls, Cad Banes, this entire box. Absolutely incredible. All right, well, we're going to try to follow the rest, or that up with the rest of our podcast. I don't know how we're going to exactly match that sort of excitement, but we're going to try here because we were back with Grab's question of the week. Now, it's been a few weeks since we answered one of these.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm super excited because this one is a really good one, and I'm going to read it out here.
Are you going to do the theme song?
Well, no, I didn't promise no theme song.
Well, there was an episode where, we did make promises that Tim was going to sing the theme song.
Yeah, he promises for me in my absence. That's not how it works. Even if I do it, I'm going to cut it out in post. Anyways, let's get to the question here. Now, the subject is overcoming weakness. And the message reads, Tim, Troy, and Sunjay, I was reading about Wonder Woman recently and discovered that the character's original weakness of being bound by a man would result in her losing her powers. This got me thinking about other superhero weaknesses. That is ridiculous. I did a little reading with this.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Like, the creator of Wonder Woman was into, S&M and,
Oh, really?
all that stuff.
Mr. Bondage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, there's even a movie called Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman that just came out. And it's about that. Like, he lived with his wife, but he also had a mistress. Like, he was a professor. And his mistress lived with him. So he lived with 2 different women. And yet he was writing Wonder Woman. And that was one of her weaknesses because he was into tying women up.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Or being tied up.
Or being tied up. Either or. Hey, we don't judge here in the Nerd Room.
Yeah, there's a lesson that I just learned there.
Yeah, well, Troy's tied up right now, so.
Continuing on here, we all know the kryptonite for Superman, but what are some of the other weaknesses our heroes have? What weaknesses are the most interesting to each of you? What story arcs can you recall that focus on the hero's weaknesses, and what are some of the ways the heroes have overcome them? What are some of the most ridiculous ways a hero has been defeated or neutralized by a foe? I've got a great one that we're going to talk about in a second. And lastly, I want to know what your top 5 weakest heroes can be. Strength, intelligence, or any parameter you see fit. So guys, let's break this one down. Let's unpack this from Grabs. This is a big question. This is going to be a lot of fun. It could be very interesting as well. So let's talk about character weaknesses. In general, let's talk about some of our favorite story arcs or some of the key weaknesses we see in some of our heroes. What's been focused on in recent memory or in an arc that you really enjoy. So I'm going to throw this one to you first, Troy. You got some?
Yeah, well, right off the bat, just a quick one. Venom. Venom with fire and and then was it like noise of some sort?
Sound and stuff.
Yeah, sound waves and whatnot. But the biggest one for me, it's Spider-Man, of course. Surprise, surprise. But he has 2. One being his Aunt May, a huge weakness, chipping Spider-Man's armor due to the fact, if you go after the events of Civil War when everybody knows who Peter Parker is, or who Spider-Man is, and he's Peter Parker, his Aunt May is shot and damn near dies, but Spider-Man makes a deal with Mephisto, and he basically puts his marriage on the line to save his aunt, which is huge. He'll do anything for his Aunt May. And another one is Spider-Man and Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom is Eddie Brock, but he somehow can cure anything. So Anti-Venom can cure cancer, he can cure any disease, and with that power, he can also cure Spider-Man's radioactive blood. So those two kind of have a feud going on between the two. So that was like a big weakness for Spider-Man, was fighting Anti-Venom. So those are the 2 I got there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go DC. No surprise. And this is a hero exploiting weaknesses. So it's the Justice League Doom storyline where Batman has contingency plans on how to defeat all the Justice League. So in case any of them go rogue, Batman already knows, okay, Superman goes rogue, I have kryptonite. If the Flash goes rogue, I have this. So he has all the different weaknesses for all the Justice League members. And there's even in the New 52, when he has the box and he's like talking to Superman, and he's like, this is Wonder Woman's weakness. And Superman opens the box and there's nothing in there. And he's like, well, there's nothing there. And he's like, exactly. She doesn't have a weakness. So, I just really love that storyline where, and then a villain obviously hacks in and uses all the different weaknesses.
Savage?
I think it was Vandal Savage, yeah. Or Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul. I think it was one of the two. I can't remember which one.
Savage.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, and some of the weaknesses, like Green Lantern, I think they've retconned this out, but he was weak to the color yellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Save that for the ridiculous
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to go with Marvel, of course. And I kind of dug around a little bit because there's a few storylines that I enjoyed, but this one in particular, because they kind of adapted a little bit of it in the MCU as well. And that's the Demon in a Bottle arc from Iron Man.
Oh.
So a lot of Iron Man stories revolve around a personal weakness of personal demons. Now, whether that's alcoholism or something else, you see that reflected in that character quite a bit throughout the comic books as well as in the films. And so I found that a bit interesting. It wasn't something that was like getting wrapped up by man or whatever, or the color yellow. This was something that was very personalized. And I think I like the storyline in itself is a little controversial, and it wasn't purely adapted because of that. But I thought it interesting how you can take a character like Tony Stark, who on the surface is very confident, cocky, he's got everything that you could think of, but then he has these very personal demons. And I really always liked that storyline because of that, because it took away from, he take away the suit and all that, and he's just a guy, and then you have a guy who does have these problems, but on the surface he doesn't. So I always found it an interesting way to depict a character like that, where, everything about him says he's the greatest, except for very personal demons. And you see that reflected in both Iron Man 2, a little bit on the alcoholism, and then Iron Man 3 is all about making your own demons, making your own, and battling through that. So that's one of the arcs and one of the weaknesses that I always appreciated for that character that doesn't really have a ton of weaknesses outside of the fact that he's super arrogant.
Yeah.
Now, ridiculous ways a hero has been defeated or neutralized by a foe. Now, there's a whole bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'll kick this one off because I got a couple here. And then I got one I'm going to really make fun of you guys for. But the first one is Thor. So if you go back to the early days of Jack King Kirby and Stan Lee, Thor dropping or losing his hammer for a time period longer than 60 seconds made him revert back to Dr. Donald Blake, and then anyone could pick up Mjolnir and essentially get the powers of Thor.
Wow. Okay. So, that's so
that was later
weird.
retconned within the Thor storyline, after Jack King Kirby and Stan Lee himself moved off the title. But I always thought it was ridiculous the fact that he would turn into this like feeble man when he dropped the hammer, and it was like the time limit though. It was like the 60-second rule.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous.
But what if what if he had like someone else holding the hammer with him? Does that still count?
I have no idea.
I mean, we gotta scientifically calculate how this was. Is there like an exact 60 seconds, or what if he was in for 50?
Like, I think in the comics he used to be like counting. I'm not sure about counting out, but it was definitely a thing, the 60-second rule. Now, this wasn't particularly a way for him to lose to a foe, but it was a ridiculous weakness that Thor, the God of Thunder, had.
Yeah.
Now, what do you got, man? What do you think?
Ridiculous weakness. As I said, Green Lantern, the color yellow.
Is he wood too? Something?
Oh, I think it was wood too. Yeah. I think all the 60s and 70s had very weird and interesting stuff like that. Superman. We mentioned the kryptonite, but that was green kryptonite. They came up with all bunch of different colors of kryptonite.
No?
Pink kryptonite, I think, turned him into a homosexual.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in like the 70s.
And the red one made him mad.
The red, remember in Smallville, like he takes it and he's
badass.
just like, oh my goodness, so
Is
cool.
it like Spider-Man 3 badass? Like his hair's
No, he's like actually badass. Like Spider-Man 3 is like kind of emo and like goofy.
Yeah, no, Smallville doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
And the other one is like in Superman 3, when they like make synthetic kryptonite with like tobacco in it and it turns them evil.
There you go. What a time.
What a time. And like he turns really weird. Like you remember he like fixes the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He like takes that prostitute. and they do the nasty, and then he like,
Really?
oh yeah, and then he like destroys
I
the
don't know
Great
if I've
Wall of
seen
China.
Superman 3 then.
You've never seen with Richard Pryor?
Oh yeah, with the robot, they fight the big.
Yeah,
computer.
it's filmed here in Calgary.
Yeah,
Nope, never seen it.
There's a scene where he like flies and the Calgary Towers in the background.
yeah.
Really?
Metropolis.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
Metropolis. I'll have to
Jeez.
lend it to you.
It's
It's
the best city in the world to live in, apparently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take
That's right.
that, every other city.
Ridiculous weakness.
See, I didn't really come with a ridiculous weakness. I just came with a ridiculous way being defeated.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot,
That
sorry,
actually fits the question more than than not.
Yeah, so I came with a ridiculous way of being defeated, and that was Batman. I think was it Infinite Crisis, one of those crises, but he took on Darkseid, and Darkseid shot him with the Darkseid bullet, and we're all left to believe that he actually died, but he didn't. He was sent back in time, similar to like the Steve Rogers kind of thing after Civil War. But I thought this was a little more ridiculous. You had like pirate Batman, you had like cowboy Batman.
Yeah.
it was kind of goofy.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
really goofy. I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
Caveman Batman.
Isn't that the storyline where Superman has to sing the universe back into existence?
I don't know about that one. The only cool thing about this whole story is that's what gave us Dick Grayson stepping up to be Batman.
Oh, okay.
Because he was gone, right? And then you had the battle for the cowl or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I didn't read DC back then. So.
Yeah, I think that would have been like
times.
2010, 2009.
So that was like right
Oh, that's
before.
recent?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
not that
yeah.
long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darkseid shot him with a bullet. It's like after the Civil War thing, so it's after Cap.
Yeah.
And Batman got sent back, like Pirate Batman. I remember seeing those issues, and I was like, "This is weird.
Yeah.
This is really weird."
Was
man.
that Grant Morrison?
It was Grant Morrison, I think, and all this was to lead Batman to become Batman in the first place. It's this weird kind of like circle going on, but
Jeez.
pretty goofy.
It's because he's Batman.
Can't kill him.
Well, speaking about Batman, you've both brought up a Superman weakness and a Batman weakness, and we all know both of their biggest weakness.
Martha.
Martha.
I knew that was coming. I was like, when is Tim gonna say it?
Come on, that's the most ridiculous way.
I don't think so.
I think that wins.
No, I actually think that was a legit good way.
Yeah, you and Matthew Salvador.
No, because okay.
Sorry, boys.
No, we're gonna.
Sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus there, but come on.
Matt's my boy. He's gonna back me up. In Civil War, you have Captain America, and he's fighting Crossbones. Crossbones just says the name Bucky, and Captain America freezes.
He freezes, but he doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Batman freezes, and then he doesn't give up until he learns it's his mother. You know, it's all I'm sticking by that moment.
Teen Titans Go even makes fun of it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Crossbones and Cap don't become like best buds after.
They don't become best buds. He just said he's saving his mom.
No, they do become best friends because he goes and sees Martha after. He's like, "That's my friend." He says something about "That's my friend."
He buys the house and everything.
Yeah.
That's after Justice League. After he killed himself to save them in Batman
no,
v
Cap's not going
Superman.
buying Crossbones' family's house or anything like that, or going and visiting them.
No, but it made sense. I'm gonna defend this moment. I honestly think it's
Cap didn't go
legit.
start, the Avengers because Crossbones died
But
either.
but Batman's like, okay, you have the same mom. I realize like what I've become. I've become Joe Chill. And then he gets his redemption because he is able to save Martha as Batman when he wasn't able to as a little kid. And then they don't become, they're not like friends right away. It's not until after Superman sacrifices himself in the Doomsday battle where Batman's like, oh shit.
No.
I was being
No, because
a
even
jerk.
before that, he says, "That's my friend." He sees Martha, and he's like, "I'm a friend of your son's."
Well, I mean,
Right
you're
after
gonna,
that.
you're gonna save your mom. You know, you're not gonna be like, I just tried to kill your son.
Well, he's I'm Batman. She right away she should know he's Batman, so he's a good guy, right?
Yeah, but she
he goes out
knows
of the way
that
being like,
Batman-
"I am
There's
your
a
friend."
1% chance he's our enemy. We have to kill him, right?
Yeah.
Right?
But then he learns the error of his ways. I'm sticking by. That's a brilliant moment in
He's-
film.
An inch away from stabbing him in the neck.
And then he doesn't.
All
Brilliant moment. Okay, throw this up on Twitter. Matthew Salvador has my back on this.
Oh, I know he does.
Yeah.
100%.
He's my man.
Sir
Like,
Salvador. Yeah.
He's one of the knights. One
he,
of the best.
oh
Legit.
man, he's
Legit.
only a knight because of all his DC love.
Yeah. He's a Knight of the Star Wars Commonwealth because it was DC love.
Yeah,
It did contribute because it was a resounding yes when he was nominated. But
absolutely.
let's finish off this question
All
before
right.
we get too derailed. The last part of this, name 5 weakest heroes are. So it can be strength, intelligence, or any parameter you see fit. I could only really come up with 2 I was happy enough to state out loud because I even went to the internet. I was like, "Who's the weakest villain or weakest hero?" And it was like all characters I didn't know, like 3D Man and stuff.
Oh, they're probably all like Batman villains from the 70s, like the Lego Batman movie when they make fun of them all.
Oh yeah, like Egghead.
Egghead, Condiment King,
Yeah.
Calendar Man.
Oh, Calendar Man. Actually, he was good in that first.
Oh, the Tom King? Or
Tom
no,
King.
was it?
it?
No, it was
The
Snyder.
Rebirth stuff.
Is-
That was actually.
Oh, yeah. He was in Tom
was it
King.
Rebirth?
Yeah. I
It's
think
like the first issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
Calendar
good.
Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah.
It was really
yeah.
good. The name ridiculous. But I know we're not supposed to go to the internet for this, but I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head. But the first two I came up with before I went to the internet, number one was Dazzler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
on there.
Like she can convert sound into light.
You know,
So-
Taylor Swift was supposed to play her in the movie. That was the rumor.
Yeah, well, it makes perfect sense, but the character just kind of a throwaway.
Yeah.
And this is one here. I don't know if this is going to cause controversy or not, but Hawkeye.
I was going to put him on there, too.
I was gonna say Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Yeah, because they're the same.
Same.
Yeah.
You're shoulder to shoulder with like gods, super soldiers, and Iron Man.
Yeah.
And you've got Hawkeye. Now he's awesome in the comic books.
Yeah.
Like Hawkeye is, and like you go to the Old Man Hawkeye stuff.
Yeah.
And even the stuff from Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
where
and
he's in
Secret
there.
Empire even.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's really good in the comic books. Like he's really well utilized there. You know, at a point two, he shot that arrow, the gamma arrow that killed Bruce Banner.
yeah.
So there's a lot in comic books where Hawkeye, but if you go to the film universe, he's kind of a background player. He feels very misplaced at
Yeah.
times. Like Black Widow, you know, if you go on paper, they're basically very similar characters, but I've never felt Black Widow was out of place in that universe.
Yeah.
Hawkeye feels out of place when he's in the Avengers.
Yeah.
They even call him out in, was it Avengers 2? When he's trying to pump up Quicksilver.
Oh yeah.
He's like, we're fighting like robots. I fought a god. He's a god. He's back from the dead or something. Like he's 100 years old, and all I have are arrows.
Yeah.
He's like, all this is ridiculous. Yeah.
But those are my two. Do you guys got any more to add to that?
I was trying to think back to my Marvel cards, the
Yeah.
old school ones. You look on
Oh,
the back.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Gambit was like one, barely.
Really?
So Gambit makes the list. Actually, a lot of
Gambit.
X-Men.
Yeah. A lot of
X-Men.
X-Men.
Jubilee, like
Yeah.
fireworks out of her hands.
Yeah,
It's kind of lame. I got Archangel, not Archangel. He's actually a badass, but Angel, just regular Angel with the wings. Like I
That's
think he
it.
had like a
Original
cannon
X-Men.
at one
Yeah.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty weak. And Squirrel Girl. Like she's likable, she's cool, but really squirrels?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't even know what she does.
I think she can summon squirrels.
That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna put Ant-Man even on there too, but I was like,
So
I'll leave
the
him.
shrinking and growing and all that's really cool.
that is
makes
the
him pretty
growing,
powerful.
right?
Yeah.
Like he can kind of do anything.
And the way they capture it in the movie, because
Yeah.
he still keeps the same kind of strength even when he's like minimized. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And that's about like an ant, the ability. So like when he shrinks, he still has the same power as he would as a man. But
Exactly.
he's not that big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he made it off that list, and I couldn't think of a fifth one, but I'll just go with those.
You get anything to add?
Cool. Yeah. I went with some villains, so I hope that's okay. Grabs.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. The Penguin.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, really,
Yeah.
he's just like he's just like a crime boss, but he doesn't have any superhuman strength. Danny DeVito portrayed him as like an actual penguin man
He'd
boy.
eat fish like no other though.
Oh my goodness, and
Wow,
he was almost the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two-Face. I like the character. I like the story, how it integrates with Batman. But it's just a man who's like severely burned in half his body, so he would be probably a pretty easily defeated foe.
Yeah.
But a lot of Batman villains.
Yeah, like
are
Joker,
pretty
really.
weak. Joker, like
Joker's
physical.
like
Joker's like a
physically.
mental thing. Same with Riddler though, but like hand to hand.
Oh
like,
yeah.
None of them could go toe to toe with Batman.
No.
No. I mean, maybe that's why Batman's so good. Is
Except for Bane.
he just picks like weak villains.
Yeah. Bane, Deathstroke, Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, yeah.
But when you look
Clayface.
at some of the main Batman villains, a lot of it is psychological and mental.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Penguin, Riddler, Joker, like even like Mr. Freeze, kind of right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is psychological for him. Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Dopes
that's
him
why
up.
that's why I think he has the best movies, to be honest, is because they're all like psychological and they don't really rely on the special effects or like the fight scenes, especially like before technology got really good with like the fight scenes and choreography. Like in the 90s, it would be very hard to do like a Green Lantern film or an Iron Man film because the technology wasn't there.
Right.
But you had like some pretty good Batman films in the 80s and 90s because it was all like some technology, but it was all like the psychological aspect.
Oh yeah. Like that scene when he like slides down Mr. Freeze's like freezing slide. Half pipe.
Batman and Robin is not the worst Batman film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I like Batman Forever because I got them mixed up. I love
Okay.
Batman Forever. Batman Robin's. You like that one?
Okay, if you go in and watch it and realize how ridiculous it is. Like, this is a good question, like a good movie for Grabs' question about ridiculous weaknesses and stuff. You should check out that movie because, you know, it is ridiculous, but if you go in and you watch it like you would watch Adam West's Batman 66 or something like that, it's actually pretty fun, and I bet you kids would like it.
Probably. It was aimed at kids. It was toyetic.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's all it
2 hour
was.
But it was
commercial.
also the worst one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I still have fun with it because it's so bad. It's like when you watch The Room.
I feel like
It's
this
so
is
bad.
a
It's
bit
so
of a beat
good.
up on DC film. this
Yeah, I was going to
question.
say, like, I don't know. I got to think of a Marvel ridiculous or weak villain.
I just told you about the 60-second rule before. Like, that was ridiculous.
Cyclops. He just
What?
has
No.
he just has the optic blast.
Oh, but it's huge. It's so powerful. Read X-Men versus Avengers. Avengers. Yeah.
That's all he's got.
Astonishing X-Men, gifted by Joss Whedon. Oh, he's dope, man.
Yo.
He's good.
Oh, you don't know.
I guess because I was a Wolverine guy, and they're
Yeah.
always battling for Jean Grey's love.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw you, Cyclops.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's wrap this one up. Grabs, thank you again for contributing to the podcast. You always make it fun, even though we probably take it in so many different directions that it makes no sense when you come to the end of it. But we really appreciate you adding that little bit of chaos to the podcast each and every week.
Yeah,
Sir
and-
Grabs. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and make sure, you know, if you want, you could always leave like a voicemail or a voice recording
Yeah.
of your question as well. A video recording. You could, I don't know, you could do an interpretive dance of one of your questions one time.
That would be interesting, especially for a podcast. But with that, gentlemen, we're going to scoot into our main topic for this week, and that's discussing the MCU. And this is really in celebration of the home release of Avengers Infinity War. I feel like we just watched and reviewed this film, and we kind of did. You
Yeah.
know, that was at the end of April. We're at the end of August here, and we've got this film in hand. I watched half the film last night, and I watched all the behind-the-scenes stuff as well. So I'm super stoked that we're able to talk a bit more about this at some point in the near future and kind of break this down a little bit more. But for the time being, to really go with the release and the celebration of this Marvel 10th anniversary, we're going to do our best of the MCU. Now, Marvel is also doing a lot of celebrating. You know, we've got the action figure line, we've seen a big book being released, which looks really great, and they're also doing a Marvel 10th anniversary film festival. So, Troy was talking about this earlier today, so maybe we should talk a bit about this. I didn't really look into it much because I just assumed that in Canada we weren't getting it. I had no idea what was going on. We did a bit of research, and we found out, right by Sunjay's house, they're actually doing the 20 film plus an extra 3 days worth of Marvel films on IMAX.
Nice.
So it's really cool what they're doing here. So they're showing every film, all 20 films, from Iron Man 2008 through to Infinity War 2018. Now what they're doing is they're doing 3 days, I believe here, 4 days of all films, all first 20 films, kind of in order. So what they're doing on Thursday, August 30th through Monday, September 3rd.
Oh
is
man,
they're
I'm not even here.
Oh, you're not here?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, no. But what they're doing is they're showing 4 films a day. They're doing a matinee, a late afternoon, a prime time, and an evening showing. And then on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday following that, they're doing what they're calling an Origins film release. So they're showing Iron Man, re-showing Iron Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange. They're doing a team-up where they're showing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Civil War, Avengers, and Infinity War again. And then they're doing a fan choice. So people are like, I think the vote's over now. It hasn't been posted. So it's really just, I think it was between Cap, the First Avenger, maybe Age of Ultron, Avengers, and Iron Man, or something like that. So it was the fans choosing this. So this is a really huge film festival that they're doing. And what's nice about this, at our local IMAX here, you can get single tickets for $8, which is really great
That's
to go see
wicked.
these films in IMAX compared to, I think it's usually like $22 to
Yeah.
an IMAX film. here.
Yeah.
Or you can buy a festival pass for $50, which you get 10 films.
What?
Whoa.
So it was funny because my wife says, "Why don't you do the festival pass?" I said, "Excuse me, are you going to let me go for 30 hours worth of films?" She says, "Oh yeah, no." So this is really cool, actually. Like, I didn't think we'd have an opportunity to do this, but because you seeded this earlier today, Troy, and I did a little research, this is something that I'm actually wanting to go do. I'd really like to go see the Cap trilogy, is what I'm really chasing.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the first Avenger because it's a matinee on... Oh, it is a matinee on Saturday. Beautiful. So I'm really excited about this. Like, I want to go and do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try. Are you guys going to make an attempt to get out there?
Yeah, I want to check Civil War.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to see Civil War and probably Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be pretty cool. And I like Guardians 2, man. I really like Guardians 2.
Yeah.
And probably Homecoming, of course.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And I haven't seen any of these on IMAX, I don't believe.
Yeah.
No, eh?
No, I don't think. Maybe
Like the current ones, at
maybe
least?
Age of Ultron. But I'm trying to think because the premieres we usually go to, they are down this part of the city and there's
Right.
no IMAX. We usually don't go to the
Oh,
IMAX
yeah.
showing.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's usually not the first one. It's usually the AVX,
So
which
it's
is
like
the first showing.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen any of these. Like I'd even like to maybe go see Ragnarok again.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was good.
I think
yeah.
I did. I saw that one in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because all the new ones, I just go to the IMAX.
Yeah, because it's right by your house.
It's right by my house, like a 5-minute drive.
And you get
so-
the posters and all that for us too.
yeah. But to be honest, I haven't even seen Incredible Hulk, Cap First Avenger, and the first Thor in theaters.
No,
I saw all those home
yeah.
video.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't out of town, I definitely would have checked those three out because, you know, I want to say I've seen them all in the theater and I can't say that right now. So maybe while I'm in Vegas, I'll check them out.
They must have an IMAX.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll see,
Yeah.
but I don't
Sorry,
know.
wifey.
Yeah.
You sit right there. I'll be back in about 8 hours.
Yeah. I don't know if that I could fly so well just disappearing in Vegas for 8 hours,
Yeah.
but we'll
She's like,
see.
where have you been? Are you drunk? No, I was watching MCU films. I'm cool.
She's like, that's even worse.
So really exciting times for the MCU where, you know, there's a lot of celebration going on, everything from action figures to films and all that. And because it was a slow week, we decided we kind of wanted to reflect a bit more on the MCU itself. Like I said in the top of the show, we've done our top 10 moments in the MCU. But then Sunjay today said, why don't we do kind of an MCU awards show, an Oscar-like show, where we break down a few categories and we just discuss a bit about our best of the MCU. So we're going to start with two major categories here. We're going to do character category and we're going to do a film category, and we're going to buzz through about 4 or 5 different subcategories within those two main title categories and just go through and kind of briefly discuss some of our favorite aspects of the MCU. Now in the character category, which we're going to start off with here, we're going to do best costume, best villain, best fight sequence, best hero, best cameo. So those are our character categories, and that's what we're going to kick it off with. And then in the film category, we're going to do best origin film, best sequel, best crossover, and best MCU film. Now we're going to try to keep this relatively condensed and not go into huge elaborate descriptions as to why we chose these, to keep the episode a bit shorter, because we could be here for 4 or 5 hours talking this through. But we just wanted to give a bit of a flavor as to why we love, or what aspects we love about the MCU, and we'd also like to hear from you guys. We're going to be putting the Twitter polls up for some of these categories, maybe even all of them. I want to hear some discussion around that, what you guys love, and then we'll revisit this a bit next week and to see where people align, because I tried to keep it a bit different. I didn't just go Cap for everything, as may be expected.
As he's wearing a Cap t-shirt.
Yes, very prominently featured in the nerd room as well is my Cap wall. So let's kick this thing off. The nerd room's first MCU Film Awards. We're going to start with best costume, and we're going straight to you, Sunjay.
All right, so for this one here, I got two. I got best hero and best villain.
Sure.
Best hero, I got Black Panther in Civil War.
Ooh, that's good.
So, you know, in his own solo film, he had a different costume, a little bit of the purple coming
Yeah.
through. I didn't feel that as much. Civil War, though, it's all black. It's very sleek.
Yeah.
I love that costume.
And the white eyes.
And the white eyes. Gotta get those white eyes.
Yeah, man.
He just hypnotizes me with his white eyes. And best villain, you know, this is not really a costume, but it's just a look. Ultron. I had a lot of issues with that film, but Ultron's design wasn't one of them. To me, he looked pretty badass, so those are my two.
When we do this, are we doing like CG? Well, obviously CGI is fine then. It's
Whatever
not-
costume.
Okay.
Mine's kind of CG as well.
Okay. Cool.
So it's not something. It's not like you have to be.
It has to be like practical costume design.
No.
Okay.
Just
cool.
a character or a villain costume or both if you want.
Dope.
So go ahead, man.
So rocking it out here, of course, I'm gonna go with the reveal of Spider-Man: Civil War. Like when we saw that, hey everyone, I was blown away with the Ditko eyes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
come on. So Spider-Man: Homecoming, I love going back to Age of Ultron. Captain America's costume is my favorite Cap costume because we got a nice blend of white still. It's a darker blue. The helmet's fresh. Like everything's dope. So I'm going with Cap. So it's between those two for me.
Nice.
Nice.
I've got two here, but I've landed on one. My runner-up is Winter Soldier Cap, the stealth suit.
Yeah,
Love that suit.
so
It's
sharp.
incredible. But for the MCU as a whole, I gotta go with Iron Man.
Oh, of course.
Nice.
I love seeing the evolution of the suit going from the Mark 1 right through into what we got in almost the Extremis or
Bleeding Edge. Yeah.
In Infinity War. Yeah. His costume, it's always something that I'm like really anticipating. And I love how they've changed it so much. The design has evolved. It's gone from kind of this big bulky suit where he's putting it on manually to this thing that just the nanotech and all that.
From the suitcase to the Extremis, the
Exactly.
Bleeding Edge.
So many cool things. The Hulkbuster is awesome.
Yeah.
Even some of the stuff they did in Iron Man 3. They got a bit carried away.
Yeah.
But some of it was pretty cool. I like the ability to come in and out of the suit, just fly into it, fly out of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, best costume in the MCU, Iron Man.
Well, do you have a favorite Iron Man one?
I really like the Avengers one.
Yeah, same. Mark 7.
Yeah,
That's
Mark 7 is kind of my go-to. And I have a soft place in my heart for the Mark 1.
Yeah, of course.
I like that they're able to integrate that original comic book origin suit into the film in a very practical way.
And it fit.
Mm-hmm. It really worked for what they did there, so I kind of have a soft spot for that. I do like the Bleeding Edge as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's grown on me a lot.
Yeah.
Especially that hot toy.
Yeah. All right, next category, guys. We're going to keep going in the same loop around the table. Best villain.
Oh, best villain. So this one's really tough, but it's I'm going to go putting me on a spot here. I'm going to go with Loki.
Okay.
Yeah, Loki. I think, he's in a lot of films. He ties the Avengers together. He's in the Thor films. He flirts with being a hero and a villain, but I'm going to go with Loki. I think Tom Hiddleston plays the character very well, and he's the best part of a lot of those Thor films. So, Loki.
I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very good choice. That was very high on my list as well.
That's a good one. Up until Infinity War, I was going to go with my boy, Michael B.
Yeah,
Killmonger. He was so real. He was great. We've never seen a role like that for that actor ever portrayed. And what he did was just so great. I loved the opposite position he played from T'Challa, but also brought it so real and actually changed the hero's perspective later on to change the aspect and the point of view of what they do in Wakanda, their beliefs. So I love that. But after seeing Infinity War, man, I gotta give it to Thanos. Yeah. I gotta give it to Thanos. It is crazy what they did with that character because it's his movie.
Yes.
You see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to actually say you're cheering for him, but you can kind of be like, yeah, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? And it's very easy for them to go back to the original Thanos that we know, being the Mad Titan, being obsessed and in love with death, but they didn't go that route. At least so far they didn't. Love what the Russo brothers did with Thanos. So that's my pick.
Nice.
Man, last time we did something like this, we really closely aligned on a few things.
Yeah.
I've got Thanos / Killmonger here.
Yeah.
And I watched the director's roundtable in the Infinity War behind the scenes. So I think everyone should check that out. It's a great group of the main directors from the MCU. Everyone who's done 2 movies, I believe. And they go back talking about Killmonger and what Ryan Coogler was able to do. And Coogler's in the room when they're talking about that. And this villain, I rewatched Black Panther twice while I was away, and Killmonger gets better and better. He is an incredible villain. Michael B. Jordan is next level.
Yeah.
And the way that he delivers his lines, so good. It's incredible. But I had to go with Thanos as well. It was a villain that I really like in the comic books, but I'm glad they didn't do the comic version.
Yeah.
Like you said, Troy, they went a completely different direction with him. They made him feel somewhat sympathetic. They developed this character, even though he was seeded through all of the MCU. You never really got any development of him, right? Up until this film. So the way they turned the whole character and his motivations on his head, that's why it stands head and shoulders for me above any villain. Now I say that, but Killmonger's up there, Loki's up there, all great villains, but Thanos takes the cake for me.
Yeah. He was very high up on my list, and I figured you two would both be saying Thanos.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta steer away. Yeah.
All right, we're going to spin this one and do Best Hero.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be an interesting approach because I think you all know where I'm going to go, but when I looked at Best Hero, I tried to look at the hero's journey over the entirety of the MCU, not just my favorite character. Now, for me, they kind of aligned, but Sunjay, let's go with you first.
Darcy from Thor movies. Just her character journey. I mean, she learns how to be an assistant, and then she gets an assistant.
And then she loves.
And then she's no longer there. No, I'm going to go Iron Man. The MCU kicked off with Iron Man. The MCU Iron Man's the backbone of the MCU. He's the heart and soul of the Avengers. He is kind of like the leader. To me, he is, I said he is the Avengers. He started this off. He pops in and out. He's in Civil War. He's in Spider-Man Homecoming. Iron Man's number one.
Cool. Iron Man's great. No, Iron Man's great.
No, tell
obviously.
me how you really feel, Troy.
For me, it's a toss-up. I mean, Tim came here repping his Cap shirt. I came here repping my Spider-Man shirt. And it's a debate between Cap and Spidey. Even though Spidey's only been in 3 films, I'm going with... if I lived in the MCU, obviously I'm going to go for Cap. I mean,
Right.
he's the golden boy. He's everything. But I think Spider-Man, the responsibility that he carries at such a young age. I mean, if you look at anybody, Tony Stark, they basically have the same intellect. There's no way Tony Stark would be doing what Peter Parker is doing at the age of 16.
No.
That
Yeah.
responsibility that he carries with himself. The dialogue that Cap and Spidey exchange in that Civil War airport scene is so great. And Cap says, you got a lot of heart, kid. There's that potential for him to be so much better than what he already is.
Yeah.
So I just love that, even though he's perished, but he's coming back.
Of course.
But breaks my heart to say this, but I'm going to go Cap, though. Realistically, it
Okay.
makes sense to go with Captain America in this universe as of right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm fully there, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Captain America, he's my dude. He's my favorite character in the comics and favorite character in the films. And the reason I choose this, not just because I'm a huge fan of the character himself from the comics, but I feel like he has the best story. He is the heart of the MCU, where I would put like Iron Man as the brains. Yeah, he is the origin story that kicked it all off. But Captain America, like retroactively, the first Avenger, as we've said, the Winter Soldier effect, it is much better because of the Winter Soldier. He's had some of the more dramatic changes and evolutions when you look at this character. And even his arc in Infinity War is quite minor.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see him and Iron Man rise to the service in Avengers 4 and take the leads there. And we're going to actually finish both of those arcs.
Yeah.
But I think holistically, when you look at an MCU story, Cap has the best story, the most consistent trilogy.
Yep.
It's one of the only ones that you can kind of watch back to back and still get the follow-through story. Like, I wouldn't say you have to or you should, because the MCU is built sequentially, but Cap has a through-going story that you don't see in the other trilogies. Thor doesn't have a continuous thread. Iron Man really doesn't have a continuous thread. Cap does in those films. You see that character evolve, and that's why I picked him as the best hero in the MCU. Also, I love him.
Cool.
All right, so next one here as we scoot through these. This is going to be a tough one because there's a ton of fight sequences in the MCU.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to choose the best fight sequence.
Oh my goodness.
You're on the hot seat, man.
I know. Well, I'm going to go back to Avengers 1. Just sitting in the theater, and for the first time, we get to see all the characters interact. Like, that's something that's never been done before in cinema since, like, the Universal monsters all got together and teamed up. So it's been a long time since we saw, like, individual movies and then, like, a group movie. This, like, event film. And when the camera pans around and you show all the Avengers lining up, I was like, this is a splash page out of the comic books. And I they're fighting the Shatari, and they're just, like, a faceless army, but it doesn't matter. Because you get to see the Avengers kick ass and use their powers and show their like power set. So I'm going the first Avengers New York fight.
I think if you go back to our top 10 moments, I think that pan view, that circular view was my top moment in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's close to the top.
I think so.
Yeah. Go back and revisit that. It was a good episode.
I really like that one.
Troy, what are you thinking? Best fight sequence?
Ooh, Civil War, baby.
Yeah.
Airport sequence. Come on, like, you talk about splash pages, and they did it here. You got Spider-Man coming out there, taking on Winter Soldier and Falcon. You got Black Panther. You got Cap. You got Iron Man. They say some words. They go into battle. Like, it was just crazy. There was a Star Wars reference in there.
Yeah,
Empire Strikes Back. Like, you can't beat that. And Giant Man. Like, man, what they did there was crazy. Like, I look forward to that scene every time I watch Civil War. Like, I just want to jump right to it, but you got to let it build up to that scene, right? Perfect scene. So that's it for me. It was a close one, though, because Infinity War in New York, when Spider-Man and Iron Man show up, like, it's pretty close. But
So good. I got to that sequence last night. When I was watching.
man.
Nice.
Like
So
when Spider-Man
good.
pops around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect.
So good. Well, coincidentally enough here, I've got 3 Russo brother movies that made my top 3 action sequences. And that is Wakanda in Infinity War, the airport scene in Civil War, and the bridge sequence in Winter Soldier.
Yes.
So all great, all very different battles. You've
Yeah.
got the huge airport battle, which is, this, like you said, Troy, this big mixture, this splash page. You got this very personal battle from Winter Soldier on the bridge sequence. And you've got this unbelievable event battle. And I had to go with Wakanda battle in Infinity War.
That was so badass.
It is so good, and the fact that you get every character having a moment, and then it caps off with that Thanos. It is unbelievable. Best battle, best fight sequence. You know, it's something else when we can have Thor show up with Groot and Rocket. You've got Winter Soldier picking up Rocket and spinning him around.
So
Cap
sick.
and Groot interacting. It's unbelievable, just the character interaction. And then you pull it out to the fight sequence. Everything from Falcon to War Machine. It's so good. The Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
You know, to make it, I would have liked the Hulk in there, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll save that for Avengers 4. But yeah, for me, Wakanda, Infinity War.
Yeah, I mean that's the crazy thing is that there's 3 different like fight scenes, and all of them are amazing fight scenes.
Yeah, all
That's
Russo
just-
brothers action sequences.
Yeah, well, except for the Whedon one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been. All right, this one's kind of a favorite of mine actually, and it's best cameo. Now we've broken this up into 2 subcategories: best film cameo, so a character appearing in another character's film where he's not the focal point; it's just kind of a nod to the bigger universe, and then also a best cameo post-credit sequence, so someone appearing in a film. Not in the film itself, but in the mid or after credit scene. And we're going to start with best film cameo. Now, just for some examples, we've got Captain America in Thor 2, Captain America, Spider-Man Homecoming, Hawkeye in Thor 1, Doctor Strange in Thor 3, Falcon and Ant-Man. What are you thinking, man?
You know, I'm gonna show some love to a movie that I don't show a lot of love to. Captain America and Thor 2. I thought that scene was hilarious when Loki's walking with Thor, and he's like, you know, they walk under a pillar, and then he appears as Captain America. Completely, like, I had no idea this was coming. This was one of the first films. I think we saw this in theaters together. And I remember, like, you turned to me, and you're like, oh, there's Cap. It was like, the highlight of the film for me. So I'm going with that one.
This is cameo, right?
Yeah, cameo in film.
How big can that role be, or how small?
So are you debating Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming?
Nope. Infinity War.
Okay.
Red Skull. Does
Oh.
Because that one to me.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
counts. 100%. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that one to me. Like, I looked at you and we were like,
Like, we
what?
literally almost fell out of our seats.
Yeah.
Like, I grabbed
oh
him.
my god. That's crazy. That was absolutely crazy. That one blew my mind. So that for me, the Red Skull
man.
coming back cameo was just killer. And that scene was great too that we got obviously with,
The Soul
with
Stone.
Thanos. Oh, man.
Great pick.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I'm changing mine to that. But I'll go with my original answer here because I thought this would be a really easy category. I thought there would be a real standout. But to me, they're all great, but nothing really stood out to me. So I went with Cap in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
man.
really caught me off guard. Not the same. Like, it's definitely Red Skull. 100%
Yeah.
Red Skull. Like, that is by far the best cameo of all time in the MCU. But I did enjoy the Cap stuff, and even like in the post credit, like I know that's
Loved
this
it.
category, but I liked when, especially was interacting with Henry Burris. Or
Oh,
Hannibal
yeah.
Buress, sorry.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
gym
yeah.
teacher.
And he's like, I think he's a war criminal now, and he's
Yeah.
standing on the wrong side of him
Yeah,
when he points
when
to
he
him.
points.
Yeah.
So good.
I love it. It never gets old either.
That's
I just
great.
watched it the other day. I love
Yeah.
it.
And he's
Yeah.
in the Avengers Cap uniform too. That we're all like, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
Yeah.
very mascot like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about post-credit sequence? So there's been some crazy post-credit sequences in the MCU.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Thanos showing up, Nick Fury, Tony Stark, and Incredible Hulk, Collector in Thor 2. Howard the Duck, even?
That's right. Yeah.
What do you think is the best cameo post-credit sequence? Sunjay.
I'm going to go Thanos.
Yes.
Set the tone. You know, you're like, okay, this is the end game. This is the big baddie we're building towards. So I'll go with Thanos.
All right.
Yeah, I want to say Thanos too, but since you used it already, I won't. I'll go with Nick Fury, especially when he dropped. I believe he dropped the Avengers. He says Avengers initiative.
That's right, yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
he? And that
You're
really
part of
just
the bigger universe.
yeah, that for me I was like, whoa, they're really doing this. The Avengers? Like, you kidding me? Like, so that was huge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the top moments in the MCU.
Yeah.
That I had voted when we did the episode back then.
Yeah.
But I went with Thanos in
Yeah.
Avengers 1. Like, I remember seeing that and being blown away.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? How did they just insert that and see this not 10 years, I guess, well, realistically 10 years worth of, because they had the Tesseract and all that before.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is something bigger. And we saw that come to fruition this year. So yeah, best cameo post-credit, Thanos, Avengers 1.
Now, there's a category I was thinking about that when we were doing this that just popped into my head. Best Stan Lee appearance.
Ooh.
That's something that we didn't have.
Okay, let's put it in there. We're going to slide this in. Best Stan Lee appearance in the MCU.
Oh,
Oh.
I was
He's
gonna
got
say
20 appearances.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
That appearance was awesome.
That made me laugh so hard, too. You know, I'm trying to think of one, and
MCU, you said though, right?
Yeah.
yeah, because I was gonna say like Deadpool or something.
I love that Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Oh,
where
with he's
in the
like librarian.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't think of any right now.
MCU awards, boys.
I know. Is there what's one
Oh,
that
the
sticks
Watcher.
out?
When
Yes.
he's yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The Watcher.
Of course,
For sure.
yeah, the Watcher.
For sure.
Confirming that because basically they're saying to the fan base is like, okay, he's the same character in every Marvel
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
including Spider-Man, including Deadpool, all
Exactly.
of them.
Yeah.
Love that.
So that's by far the best one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was what did he say? I was a FedEx delivery man or whatever he said.
Oh yeah, Tony
He's sitting there
Stank.
with the Watchers. Yeah. So good.
Love
so
it.
good. I love that. That was a good
Great.
addition. All right, we're moving on from the character category to the films category. So like I said, we've got best origin film, best sequel, best crossover, and best film. And we're going to kick it off with best origin film. Now, how we define this was it is focused around a single character and doing world building within that character's isolated universe. So movies like Black Panther and Spider-Man Homecoming are included in this category because they are fixated on a single character. Even though they're introduced in other films, they're essentially the origin film for that character. You're seeing world building, you're seeing the extension of the supporting cast around that character, so they're included in this. So Sunjay, what is your favorite origin film?
You know, I was thinking Black Panther, but then there's another one that came up on me, and I'm gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, that film, I had no expectations going in, and just the world building that it did, it introduced the MCU to space.
Yep.
It gave us Peter Quill. It gave us a group of heroes that up until that time I had not heard of a single one of them, and it made me care about each and every one of them by the time I was done. Black Panther, when that film was coming out, I already knew who Black Panther was, and I was super excited for this film. Guardians of the Galaxy, like, you were the only one trumpeting it, Tim. You were like saying, like, you were picking up comic books. I remember and like saying, like, oh, this Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy, like, are they scraping the bottom of the barrel? Like, you might as well have an Ant-Man film or something. So
And then they did that.
yeah,
And they did that.
So yeah, I'm going Guardians.
All right.
Yeah, from I love obviously Homecoming, but I can't justify it as an origin film, even though everything you just gave us. But I really can't because he's already had the responsibility, the power, even the costumes. So I'll take that one off. I'm going Iron Man. I think Iron Man is like just a brilliant origin film, especially going back to the retrospective series when we visited that film. Like, man, that holds up. It's awesome. So what more can I say about Iron Man? Iron Man 1.
And it's the thing that kicked it all off too.
Exactly.
You know, it was on my short list, as was Black Panther, but I had to go Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like you said, it did something dramatically different at the time. And yes, Black Panther did do that as well. It's a cultural phenomenon. Like, it's the highest grossing film in the history domestically of the MCU, outgrossing Avengers Infinity War. Which is insane when you put that in perspective of what Infinity War was. But going back and seeing Guardians of the Galaxy, I remember watching this. This was 2014, August 2014. So just over 4 years ago, I remember sitting in the theater and walking out being like, oh my God, this was literally the comic books I love put to screen. James Gunn did incredible things there with those characters, and seeing them showing up in Avengers Infinity War, carrying that tone through from that very small and very risky origin film, that's why I'm putting it as the best origin film in the MCU.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
okay.
agree.
Now, let's move on to best sequel. Now, what we're considering here, or at least how I took this, you guys can take it any direction you want, was best follow-up to a film. Now, in the sense that it was the biggest leap a film made going from, say, the origin story to number 2, or number 2 to number 3. Where was the best sequel, and where was the most development of a character, or the biggest shift, tonal shift, whether character shift, biggest development in a single character? That's how I kind of took this best sequel as. Not just the best film that was a sequel, but the best sequel to the film that came before. Now, it's a little harder because we're talking MCU, they're sequential, not in a trilogy sense, or not in a back-to-back sense, so there has to be some perspective there. But Sunjay, what's the best sequel?
So this is, I think, the MCU does a lot of good things, right? But a lot of times their sequels kind of fall flat for me. Thor 2, Iron Man 2, Age of Ultron, even Ant-Man 2. So the obvious choice for me, Captain America Civil War, by far, it could even be like one of the best, considered the best MCU film, but a leap up in quality from the first Avenger in terms of the villain, in terms of the story, everything I love about Winter Soldier. It is just a great sequel. So the Winter Soldier.
So Winter Soldier or Civil War?
You said both.
Did I say both?
You said both.
Oh, I'm just trying to keep you guys on your toes to see if you're listening. No, sorry, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Winter War. Duh.
Civil Winter.
Civil Winter. They just sit quietly, and it's very civil.
Sunjay. All right, Trent. Best sequel.
I'm going with Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, not Civil War. And I love Civil War, but I feel
Yeah.
like Winter Soldier is a little more connected to First Avenger. And Tim and I talk about this all the time. It enhances your experience when you go back to First Avenger. It is fantastic what they did with that film. The growth in character. They introduced us to Falcon, and the chemistry is wicked right off the bat. And they make Black Widow so much better than ever before. This is the best Black Widow's ever been, or at least starting from that point. So I love Winter Soldier, and best sequel hands down.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3 for 3, man. I think it's the only thing that we can fully agree on. Yeah, Winter Soldier is by far the best sequel.
Yeah.
I love the first Avenger, but what it does for the character of Captain America, it shifts him from someone that is there and part of the Avengers because he was part of the Avengers originally, to a character that's integral, that is the heart of the universe. And that really changed that. Yes, Civil War is incredible. Yes, Infinity War as a sequel is incredible. But Winter Soldier does the most for a single character.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out to a very close second of mine, and that was Thor Ragnarok. Like the things that Taika Waititi did and Chris Hemsworth did with Thor in that sequel compared to what you're going from the bottom of the barrel. Like you go back to the retrospective series, none of us recommended Thor 2.
Yeah.
All of us raved about Thor 3. So that huge, big swing in character and how they developed it, how they changed it, how they made this a character that became the focal point from a hero perspective in Infinity War.
Yep.
Like Thanos and Thor have the biggest or the most screen time, and Thor has his own story built into Infinity War. He's an integral part of that film. Cap and Iron Man take somewhat of a backseat to Thor in this film. That's why I think we're going to see something a little different in Avengers 4. But yeah, I have to give it a close second to Thor Ragnarok.
Nice.
And Winter Soldier was really a game changer because it made the general audience take these films seriously,
Yes.
I believe. For sure. It's a different direction what we've ever seen before with any other MCU film at that point.
And it was one of the first films that went into a genre film.
Yeah.
So it was a genre film that was a comic book film.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you've seen a lot of that. It was like that 70s political thriller.
Yeah.
Before that, these were comic book movies. These were movies that were adapted from comic books. This was something completely different. So it was genre bending. The same way that Nolan did something crazy with Batman in that universe and allowed the Iron Mans of this world to get traction, that grounded version of a superhero. That's what Captain America did for the genre of comic book movies. It became less of a, this is big CGI stuff, and made it more of story and character focus. So it's incredible stuff there. Yeah, Winter Soldier across the board. All right, we got 2 more categories here left, guys.
All right.
We got best crossover film next. Now, the idea behind best crossover film, or best team up if you want to call it that, it's where we have the crossover being an integral part of the narrative. So it's not just a cameo. So films that you can consider in here, Avengers 1 through 3, Civil War, Thor 3 I would even throw in there because you get a Hulk story, and even Iron Man 2 I would consider in this category because you really get a big integral crossover of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Black Widow in that film.
Yeah. And War Machine.
War
really.
Machine,
Yeah.
yes,
That's right.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So what are you thinking, man?
You know, I'm going to have to go with the film that just came out, Avengers Infinity War. This is the film that kind of did the impossible. Even I had some reservations about how are they going to integrate all these characters in one film in a 3-hour time limit, runtime. And I was like, okay, maybe some characters might get shifted. Maybe it'll just be like, meh. But this movie just blew me away. And it's got everyone in it. So, except for Hawkeye and Ant-Man. But
They're coming.
they're coming. Just wait. Maybe Ant-Man was there, but he was really tiny and he couldn't expand. I don't know. But yeah, Infinity War, for sure.
Caught in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
He's there in spirit.
Yeah, I mean, Infinity War is huge. Spider-Man Homecoming for me is a close second, but Infinity War is just massive. Like, the roster of characters that they had, everybody had a pretty decent amount of screen time. And it's fine that, Cap even took a back seat because from Winter Soldier, he's had the biggest push, and everyone's pretty familiar with that character. Iron Man even had more screen time than Cap this time around. But I'd have to say, yeah, man, I'm giving it to Infinity War. It was fantastic. I love what they did in Homecoming, obviously, though, too, because we did get a little bit of Spider-Man and obviously Tony Stark, and I like the lessons that Tony Stark passed on to Peter, and Peter overachieved those afterwards. So, but I'm going with Infinity War.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have to agree with you guys in Infinity War, but for this one, I'm going to give a shout out to Civil War.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I love about Civil War being a crossover film, and it very much is that, is it Avengers, whatever, 2.5, if you want to call it that. But what they did in there is they made the crossover aspect of it very important, but they also told a Cap story inside of that. A very personal Cap story, which you could have lost all of a Captain America story in that film, in this giant crossover film, but they're able to successfully do both. And I got to give a lot of credit to that, because you could have went with numerous splash pages of them fighting, right? Yes, it has one of the best fight sequences in the film, but it also feels very much like a Cap film. Like Tony Stark or any of the other characters, Vision, whomever, they don't overshadow that main arc. And that's why I voted in Captain America as the best hero, because of this arc. It's never overshadowed by other characters. So from a crossover film perspective, I'd love it to give it to Infinity War because they do great things there. Yeah. But I'm going to give it to Civil War because I think, it's not, the scale isn't as big, but you got 12 or 15 superheroes in there, but you're still telling a very personal story.
Yeah.
And I can really appreciate that.
It's crazy that Civil War's story is considered small compared to Infinity War. Just goes to show, because at the time, Civil War, we were all blown away. Like, this is the biggest crossover movie ever.
Question, how are they going to fit it all in and make it still a Captain America? Like, why isn't this Avengers Civil War?
Yeah.
But they made it Captain America Civil War. Like, it was done properly. And the Russos just hammered it home. And I don't think it's any coincidence that we're going to continue to talk about the Russo brothers here, because the next category is Best Film. Best MCU film out there.
Yeah.
Now, it's a difficult one. I think we're all going to land in a small group of films. But Sunjay, what do you think is the best MCU film? Write it down, man. You're committing to it on the podcast right
forever.
now.
I can never change it. Once I say it once, I'm going to stick with it for the rest of my life.
The internet is forever. Just remember that, people.
I better hide those nudes.
And those tweets.
Oh, yeah. My, very controversial tweets. I'm debating between two, and I hate to say it because these are like two of the newer ones, but it's like Black Panther and Infinity War. And I go to like rewatchability, and while Black Panther is this amazing film, to me, I think Infinity War is it's just that movie where it's like it's got that Independence Day quality to it, where no matter where it's at, if it's on TV or if someone else is watching it, and you just walk into the room, you're like, oh, boom, I love this scene, and then you sit for like 2 minutes, and then like 2 hours go by, and you're like, damn, I just watched the whole movie. So I'm gonna go Infinity War.
Yeah, I'm going Infinity War, man. I mean, the way the movie opens up, the cinematography, the score, Thanos' score porch. Yeah. Love that. Absolutely love that. I saw that movie 4 times in theaters. I'll probably go see it again when it comes back out.
Yeah.
I love this film. This film just did so many things on so many levels. I mentioned the top cameo, Red Skull. Like, I was jumping out of my seats. Like, not too many films do that, This film did it in every way, man. The fight scenes were awesome. The acting's great. It gave us, the whole crowd went just silent. You could hear people gasping for breath when they killed off everybody. Like, nothing's done that really. I feel like this is the closest thing we've had to Empire for that ending. It's crazy. Love this film. For me, it takes the cake. It's Infinity War.
The wild thing about Infinity War, because it is also my top MCU film, my best film. So it's 3 for 3 there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's any surprise, because yes, we have films like Civil War and Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy, all really high quality films, but nothing was able to ever match Infinity War. It's just the idea, you're talking about it, Troy, about how the Red Skull, the deaths. Yes, we read all the comic books, but it's very difficult, I find, especially with what we do here, to be shocked anymore. Yeah. We always are looking for a little more. We're trying to pull in, we theorize a lot, we speculate a lot. I was blown away in that film numerous times, starting from the Spider-Man appearance, right off the bat. Yeah. I didn't like that. From then on, I was like so enthralled in the movie. Yeah. And then you go to the Red Skull, the death, like everything about it. Yeah. Thanos' character development alone wins it. Yep. And then you add in all the hero stuff. It's an unbelievable film, and it is a modern day masterpiece when you're talking about genre. When you're talking about film itself. So yeah, of course, Avengers Infinity War is the best MCU film.
Do you think that's, like, we went 3 for 3. Do you think that's because we're such fans of the comics and we've all read the comic before? But like, if you just had like Joe moviegoer or Jane moviegoer walk in, do you think they would pick up more the artistic merits, the better storytelling of like a Black Panther or Iron Man 1 or Winter Soldier? Do you think like those would be considered more? Because like Infinity War, do you think it's just because we're so not fanboys, but well, I guess we are fanboys.
That, hey?
Yeah. Like, what do you think?
That's a difficult one, because it it really caps off this big arc. A lot of people have invested a lot of time over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And more people saw Black Panther.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, domestically, right?
Yeah.
Globally, no. But domestically, more people saw Black Panther. So there seemed to be a resonance with that film to a wider audience. But would most people say that Infinity War is the best MCU film? I don't know, because I would think the majority of the people that saw that film had seen at least 10 or 12 of the MCU films and had that investment. And that's what Marvel did. They made you invest in this universe to a level that no one else has been able to replicate anywhere. And so I think the payoff that you get in that film makes that investment worthwhile. At least it did for me. But yeah, I think you're going to see people bounce around between like Winter Soldier, Civil War, Black Panther, and Infinity War. It'd be interesting to see what people have to say. Yeah. The listeners have to say on Twitter and that when we throw a poll up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that, Troy?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I mean, because I think probably not, because it does rely quite a bit of being like a fanboy or being really invested in this this universe, whereas it is a little bit easier to invest yourself in, say, First Avenger and then go right into Winter Soldier and you get that payoff, right? As in to dive into this film. So it's hard to say, but I agree with Tim. I think it is a modern day masterpiece. Absolutely.
Like the reason why I ask is if you look at the critics' score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like an average MCU film. It's at like 83%, which is still a really good score.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near like Iron Man 1 or like Black Panther. Some of those are like 94, 97.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean anything to me, but I mean, it is an aggregate of critics like it or not.
Right.
So, I mean, 83 is still a really good score, but there's ones that have beat it quite handily.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny because I read through some of the Rotten Tomato criticisms of Infinity War, and they're talking about lack of development on Thanos, and it was like a big CGI thing. And I was thinking, like, did we watch the same movie?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, like, and I don't know if that's, Black Panther, or even Iron Man, and when you look at that as a standalone film, that is a true standalone film. Infinity War is not a standalone film.
No.
You need that investment. So if you're looking at a person that can go in blindly into that, you're not going to have any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, no clue. So as a standalone film, it doesn't work. But it's not supposed to work
exactly
as a standalone film. So you can't judge it as a standalone film. It has numerous arcs in it. One that had been seeded for 10 years.
Yeah.
They come to a conclusion there. So it's not a standalone film, and you can't judge it as that. So that it's for me, it's maybe it's a bit on the fanboy side, but the $2 billion domestic or globally speaks to otherwise that people really enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, that was a ton of fun, man. That was a great suggestion.
Oh, thanks.
Earlier today, we had nothing to talk about 12 hours ago. So we turned into something really great here. I hope you guys enjoyed it out there too. And like I said, we're going to be asking for your input, for some interaction from you guys to help us understand what you guys and how you guys feel. Do you align with it? Do you think we're crazy? What is the best MCU film? And kind of answer that that question that Sunjay just had. So if you'd like to write in about it, you can always email us at thenerdroom@gmail.com. You can hit us up on YouTube or Facebook. You can catch us on Twitter. You're going to see those polls rolling out, but our handles themselves are at the end of the episode. You can always see everything we do at thenerdroom.net and StarWarsCommonwealth.com. And you know what? I think that's about it for this week, guys. Like I said, that was a ton of fun. I love talking MCU. And we have to give one more huge shout out to our dude, Chop Rules to the Z, Corey over at Tumbling Saber, for giving us this incredible package. We had a ton of fun opening it, and I can't wait to divide some of this stuff up. It will be prominently placed in our nerd rooms. And like I always say with my collection, there has to be meaning behind it. This thing is now chronicled on the nerd room, and these individual pieces are going to take a nice place in the nerd room forever.
Yes.
I like it.
That being said, gentlemen, until next week, for the nerd room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the nerd room. This has been a Nerd Room Podcast production. You can find our hosts, Tim, Troy, and Sunjay on Twitter at TheNerdRM, TroyTheBoy87, and Sunjabby. For more content from the Nerd Room, check out thenerdroom.net. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find more podcasts in the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Skyros Podcast, and San Diego Sabers. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.